A Maine family is heading to Washington, D.C. to advocate for 300 Ukrainian orphans still living in Ukraine as the war continues. These orphans have all been hosted by families here in the U.S., and those families are asking Congress to grant them temporary visas.
News Center Maine's Chelsea Davies introduced us to the Davies family when the war in Ukraine started, and tonight tells us more about their efforts to get those kids here.
It's been more than 3 months since the Russian military invaded Ukraine. And since then, Chelsea and Andrew Davies have been advocating for hundreds of orphans living in Ukraine, including 2 boys who they have hosted during school breaks.
This is A, and this is D. Okay. A and D.
Now they are working to get both boys they've hosted and their older brother out of Ukraine. But it's been an uphill battle.
It seems like we've lost momentum and we've kind of moved on, from the war and things like that.
That's why the Davies are heading to Washington, D.C. next week to speak to members of Congress and encourage them to grant 300 orphans temporary visas.
We really care about these kids and we want them to be safe here with us.
The Davies are the only family from Maine going to Washington, but there will also be 11 other states represented. All the families have hosted orphans from Ukraine before and are working to set up meetings with their senators and representatives.
Our ask is still the same. We want temporary visas to bring the boys here.
Here in Maine and away from the war. Jackie Mundry, News Center, Maine.
Chelsea and Andrew Davies will be heading to Washington on Wednesday. They say they already have meetings set up with Senators King and Collins.